don't go. No. This thing, when we begin to see it inside you, it shows the church that you have started growing. You are no longer in the lepio, the infancy stage. And also, at this stage, we are also told that the lepio, the pandium also starts learning, recognizing true doctrine during this time, because you always come to hear the word of God. You always read the word of God. So you are now beginning to know the difference. You are now beginning to learn the right doctrine, because it's not everything that is flying in the air that is true. So at this stage of pendium, because of your coming closer to God, coming closer to fellowship, you begin to learn and know the difference. Because if you do not learn this, the pandium susceptible to their own imaginations. You know, we compare them to small children between the age of 2 to 12. If you don't control them, anything will enter their head, will enter their mind. That is what they do. The same way as a spiritual child. At this stage, if the church does not begin to control, you see that the child, the spiritual child, that man or woman who has given his or her life to Christ in this stage, he will begin to be susceptible to his own imagination, running wide and following wide ideas. This is the stage where some Christians backslide. They get it wrong. Because at this stage, they need direction. They need control. They need to be taught. This one, there is wolf outside. Inside, you are a sheep. Outside, there are wolves. So you don't need to go there. Because if you go there, you are going to hear different things. So that's the work of the church, the spiritual parents, the pastors, the prophets, the evangelists, and all. They need to be in a good relationship so they can learn, grow, and be disciplined. At this stage, you begin to see a pandium will make sure that you come to church, you come to fellowship. You need to hear the word of God. You have given your life to Christ. That's not enough. You need to hear the word of God. You need to learn the word of God, grow, and be disciplined. You don't just grow wild. You need to be disciplined, because as your own child at home, when the child begins to grow, he get the stage where you reach. At that infant stage, he fish it for body, do anything, you will allow it. But as he begin to get to this stage, you can't imagine a 6 years old child poo-poo in the body. Will you tolerate it? No. So that's how the church is. When you have come to church, you have given your life to Christ and passed the stage of lepio to the stage of pendium, which is the spiritual child. The church also has the onus to discipline. Make sure you are disciplined. Make sure you don't. You know, some people say, "I get my life." No. At that stage, can your child tell you, say, "Mommy, I get my life, leave me"? That's how it is spiritually. No. They need to mold you, mold your character, mold things about you through the word of God. And you can only do this when you start to have good fellowship, like most of us are here now. You are here to fellowship. You are here to hear the word of God. And the word of God that you hear, it does what? It begins to add to you, nourish you, and it makes you to grow spiritually. Then I want to talk about characteristics of the spiritual child, a pendium. A spiritual child is still immature. It's still immature. Whether 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it's still immature. So there are certain things you cannot leave to that spiritual child. I hear some people say, that they look face. That the same day me and this person come church. They don't give her this one. They don't. No. The church is looking at your growth. Last week we talked about that when you begin to spiritual maturity brings about spiritual responsibility. So the church looks at your how responsible are you? How are you responding to the word of God being sent to you? That's what makes you responsibility in the church. So it's not about looking face or